What is the early form of what can someday become a large-scale chemical engineering plant? It's called a pilot plant, which is a pre-commercial production system designed to explore new technology and begin the process of creating new technology products. One of the world's most prolific development centers for pilot plants is right here in San Antonio at Southwest Research Institute.
So in chemical engineering, pilot plants are used as the next stage of process development. So scientists and engineers have worked to develop different components or steps of a process to create a new technology, to create a new type of chemical, a new type of fuel. And then in the pilot plant step, you put all of these components together into an overall large working process.
Eloy Flores is the manager for research and development on pilot plants at Southwest Research Institute. He specializes in chemical engineering involving fuels and energy.
So at Southwest Research Institute, we work with many clients in different industries to design, build, fabricate, operate pilot plants on first-of-its-kind technologies or improving existing technologies by making modifications with new reactor designs and adding new components to the processes.
Flores shows us various types of pilot plants, which can range from equipment on a desktop to filling a small lab, a large warehouse, or even something bigger.
So the pilot plant work and the work that we do with industry, most of it is proprietary, so a lot of it goes under the radar. So people don't hear about it, they don't know about it. But 10 to 20 years from now, a lot of the technologies we're working on will revolutionize how we get our plastics, what type of plastics we use. It'll also revolutionize how we use coal, and can we use coal in a better way. It'll also affect, with regard to CO2 emissions, it'll reduce the potential to have processes that have reduced CO2 emissions. So we can still get power and simultaneously reduce our net emissions and not harm the environment.
Pilot plants start at a small scale. The small system is operated to learn about the behavior of a chemical process before a scale-up, which eventually can lead to a full-scale commercial plant.
So historically in the chemical engineering department, we've worked in hydroprocessing, hydrocracking, hydrotreating of different types of organic materials. And we convert these organic materials into specification fuels like jet fuel, diesel, and gasoline. At Southwest Research Institute, we also have an emissions lab, and they do what is known as an EPA certification test on fuels. And I believe they are one of the only labs in the country that does this test. And before a fuel can actually be put into a vehicle or blended with a conventional fuel, it needs to pass these specific standards. And so any type of alternative fuel that's out there today, it's very likely that it's come through our facility and we've processed it to produce the fuel and then also to do the EPA certification testing.
Flores explained to me that the technologies being developed by these pilot plants could have a dramatic impact on our future way of life, including cleaner burning energy and fuels, along with advances in biofuels, petroleum processing, and electrochemical processes, which will all be more environmentally friendly.
So as operators of pilot plants, we have a unique understanding about their operation. We are typically the folks who have to make modifications to existing pilot plants that are fabricated and shipped here. And having that knowledge and understanding allows us to quickly make modifications to pilot plants for our clients that normally have very accelerated schedules. And then after we operate the pilot plants, we are able to actually ship fabricated skid-mounted pilot plants as well. So I've had the opportunity to be here long enough to where I've seen technologies go from concept to near commercial, and in one case commercial, and the typical time span for something like that is between 10 to 20 years. So we do have clients that show up and they want to go from concept to commercial in 2 years. We understand the reality of that, but we still try to help facilitate what we can to help them through the stages of process development, to go from that fundamental step to a near commercial operation.